So my mom passed away from breast cancer in December. Obviously, it's a difficult thing to deal with when somebody close to you passes away, and we all have our sort of strange ways of dealing with it. I've done the usual, sobbing for no apparent reason, uncontrollably, and hoarding so much of my mom's stuff that there's not even room for myself in my room anymore. I've also done some sort of weird things where I've started trying to do some of the things that she used to do. She used to be really big into those crossword, tangle-word, letter deciphering dill books. She was really good at it. If you look at the pages that she did in her crosswords, there's not a single mistake. Whiteout never touched her pages, and it's pristine. I tried to do it, and it looks like I tried to murder a bug on the pages, and my weapon of choice was the pen. There's just ink everywhere, and a bunch of indecipherable letters, most of which are not even right. Another thing I've done is I've actually decided to maybe learn how to sew a little bit better, which is really crazy for me, because my mom always used to laugh about the fact that I would tell her, "Mom, you don't need to learn how to sew. That's what malls and new clothes are for." Before she passed away, and for quite some time before that, I caught on to her love of baking and cooking. And when she passed away, I found this old binder that's just bursting at the seams with handwritten recipes that she wrote, stuff she printed off the internet, or stuff she ripped out of magazines to try to cook later. So I've decided once a week I'm going to try to bake something from that book, preferably the ones that she hand wrote. It'll just make me feel closer to her and get to try some yummy food, because, I mean, that's why baking and cooking is fun, because you get to eat something delicious at the end. And if you bake for other people, you can make them do the dishes, so you don't even have to worry about cleaning it up. But the first thing that I'm going to try is this potato soup recipe I found. Based on the ingredients and the fact that it's kind of yellowing, I'm imagining it's from when my parents were newlyweds and were vegetarians. I'm an herbivore supremacist myself now, so it looked like it'd be pretty good to me. So I'm going to just bake it and show you how to bake it, and it's cheap, so that's always another thing that my mom and I both appreciated. Cheap recipes, and helping people to save money, that's always fun. So every week I'm going to do one of these, and I'm sure you're very, very much looking forward to trying a vegetarian recipe. Alrighty, so the first thing you do is boil 2 cups of vegetable stock, and then you're going to need 4 potatoes, raw potatoes that are cubed, and about a cup of chopped onions or leeks. I did onions, and my eyes might be a little red right now. It's not because cooking makes me emotional, it's just because whenever I cut onions I look like I'm 11 years old again and I'm watching Titanic. So you go ahead and you get these into the boiling stock, and this is going to be an action shot. Probably potatoes are going to go everywhere. No, stock just went everywhere. Oh, it's still going everywhere. This is why I'm not allowed to have a show on the Cooking Network. Are you still on the edge of your seats? I'm sure you are. This is really riveting. Okay, and then you're going to need about a teaspoon of dill seeds. So I'm going to go ahead and add that right now. And then what you're going to do after that, according to the recipe over here, is you cover it and simmer it until the potatoes are tender. You only have to wait a little bit while the potatoes become tender. If you want to expedite it, maybe you could play some Elvis for it. I don't know. Might soften them up a little bit. What you do after that is you combine 2 cups of milk. I used almond milk because I'm a vegetarian, but I like to feel better about eating less dairy, even though I love cheese, so I'm really not doing much there. And then you're going to add 3 tablespoons of nutritional yeast, half a teaspoon of salt, and it was supposed to be 1 tablespoon of flour, soy flour, but I forgot to put that on my list because I am clearly a professional cook, so I'm just using regular flour, and hopefully it doesn't just ruin the whole thing. So once the potatoes decide to become a little more tender, you go ahead and puree that. I'm going to use the blender because I have to use the blender for the next step anyway. It could just be because I don't want to wash as many dishes, but I'll just say that I want to use less water because I'm saving the environment. Anyway, then when you're done with that, you add on the milk mixture, and then when you're done with that, you go ahead and heat it up, and when you're serving it, you can add chives if you want, so it's a little less brown and a little more green. Alright, now I've got my official taste testers here, aka my sister, and who's got a split personality issue, or she's cosplaying, and then my dad. So what do we got? What do we think? Is it potatoey, chivey?
Interesting.
Yes.
I like it.
It's potatoey and chivey.
Yes, it's very good. I like it.
Yum yum yum, delicioso.
And
Does it taste like homemade food that Mom would have made?
Yes.
definitely.
So it tastes really good.
Definitely.
Thanks for the recipe, Mom. Sorry for adding almond milk and not soy flour. Alright, now I'm gonna taste my creation. While off camera, my dad secretly said that we needed to add more salt, and I agree, but more salt and this is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Nice and potatoey
Yes, it is.
and chivey
Yep.
and soupy.
Mm-hmm. Definitely soupy.